Robert Pattinson reportedly cast as Batman. Or is he? And that is the headline on this week's MB Heroes, John. This news broke actually at the end of last week, just in time for this show, actually. So, what's your thoughts on this, John? Because there was reports when this first broke, I think it was maybe Thursday, Friday last week, that Robert Pattinson of the Twilight, franchise, was getting put up against Nicholas Hoult. His name was going about as well, but as the days have rolled merrily forward, it looks more likely Robert Pattinson is the man to don the cape.
Yeah, I think we spoke about this previously, Stephen. We went through a whole variety of different actors who we'd like to see playing or portraying, because I don't think actors like you saying playing. It's belittling their profession.
Sounds like they're enjoying themselves.
They're enjoying themselves way too much, and I don't think those 12-hour and 16-hour stints on set are very enjoyable at all. But portraying potentially Batman or Bruce Wayne, I think he was quite down our list, Stephen. I think we were discussing the likes of John Hamm and whatnot.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know what actual vision Matt Reeves has for also this story, Stephen. We know it's going to be detective heavy, as we will get into in the next topic as well. We've got a hint at perhaps two of the antagonists.
Yeah.
But we don't really know what he's doing with the actual character of Bruce Wayne, which direction he wants to take it. Is it going to be a more younger, sprightly, sort of upbeat version of the character, or is he going to try and do a middle-aged, well, clearly not middle-aged, because he's looking to cast Robert Pattinson. Nicholas Hoult is another one that was apparently doing the rounds.
Yeah.
So they are clearly not middle-aged actors. They are both young, sprightly actors in their mid-20s, I'd have thought, maybe late 20s, perhaps scraping into the 30s. I'm not actually sure of their ages. Yeah. What do I make of it, though? I've learnt my lesson, Stephen, not to... I haven't personally learnt my lesson. I was about to compare it to the Heath Ledger, obviously casting the Joker. I was never against that, Stephen, because I was firmly on the bandwagon. As the Joker says in that movie, he was ahead of the curve. I was ahead of the curve with Heath. Loved him in 10 Things I Hate About You. Knew he was a great actor, just needed a break to show his great range, and he showed everybody and proved everybody who doubted him wrong. So I don't want to say I don't want to count my chickens and get ahead of myself. People in general should learn after that casting that you shouldn't really jump obviously the gun, and when it comes to casting of actors who perhaps in your mind shouldn't really be fitting for a role, because he's proven himself, Stephen Pattinson. He has proven himself out with the actual obviously, what the hell was it, Twilight franchise. I've not actually seen a lot of him. I can't sit here and lie, but by all accounts he's been in a lot of very interesting movies, and he has shown that he's got decent range and he can do different things. So it's certainly possible he can come in. He has to beef out a bit, that's what I would say, because he's a very skinny chap, I think. I mean, he's 6 foot, he's got the stature, but I think he's quite skinny. He's probably only about 11 and a half, 12 stone. He needs to put on a good couple of stone of muscle.
I don't think that'd be a problem for the chap, but
no.
I think we must stress as well, this show is obviously pre-recorded, so by the time this goes out on Tuesday, when you're watching this, things could be confirmed or denied by this point. So my feelings, John, when I saw both names get up on the early reports of this breaking news, I wasn't really fussed either way. I know both of them are terrific actors. Yeah. I know both of them have got the potential to have the stature, the physical stature of Bruce Wayne as well. Certainly have got Robert Pattinson more so as a quite a moody, he's played that kind of role before, the sort of brooding hero.
I recall him playing Cedric Diggory, I think it was, from Harry Potter.
Yeah, Harry Potter,
That was a very early stint in his career.
Very young. But listen, I wasn't really bothered either way. John Hamm was at the top of my list. I'm not going to retract that. I thought he would have been the sort of one that would have been up there. But
he's got stature.
Yeah, he has. Armie Hammer as well, I think, was touted about, but I think both of us weren't very keen on that idea.
He's okay.
Also, your man that played Poe Dameron, Oscar Isaac.
Far too small.
Too
short.
Yeah. I think he's got the look, your facial look. I mean, he's got the chiseled look that Bruce Wayne dons, but
5'7.5".
Yeah, he's not got the height there. I think it would take a lot of trick photography to convince the audience.
They did it with your man Tom Hardy.
Tom
Hardy
Hardy
is obviously Bane. He's only 5'9". Made him look pretty much the same height as Christian Bale, with lots of trickery with angles and whatnot, and obviously lifts in his shoe. But You don't want that for Batman. You don't want it.
But listen, if it is Robert Pattinson as Bruce Wayne / Batman, the Batman, whatever you want to call him, I'm on board. You know,
well, he's been involved, Stephen. I was just looking at his IMDb cinematography. I want to call it filmography. It's not cinematography. That's obviously making the film, putting it into actual camera. It's filmography. He's been in a Lighthouse film with William Dafoe recently, so he's expanding out. He's doing that at Leonardo DiCaprio, early 2000s. Yeah. He's expanding his roles out and trying to differentiate himself away or keep himself away from being obviously typecast into that Twilight, sweet, pretty face role, you know. What was it, about vampires or something? Yeah. I've never seen a single Twilight. He's trying to differentiate or distance himself.
But it was the same with Heath Ledger, John, with the sort of, you know, bandwagon of people that thought this was the worst idea ever. You know, Heath Ledger was always connected to rom-coms, etc. But you look past that, you can see, you know, a great actor, and he certainly was, and he proved he was. Yeah. It was interesting to see as well. We were talking about before we came on air in regards to Heath Ledger and his presence on screen and off screen for The Dark Knight, the second film. Michael J. White was on Collider talking about him. It was such a fascinating interview, and it was good to see, you know, those rumours about, you know, his mental condition as well in that film were really put to bed by the actor. I'm glad to have heard that. I think the chaps on Collider were very grateful for how you know, open he was to talk about it as well, because it's a film that's what is it, 10, 11 years old now. You know, and it kind of puts that sort of rumour to bed. But I'm going off on a tangent here, John.
No, Stephen, we've seen it time and again. I was just watching, I think it was Kimmel or Fallon recently, and I think it was Bill Hader that was on it. Yeah. He's obviously in it too. And you see him, they showed photos of the back, behind the scenes on it too. And he's laughing and joking with Skarsgård, I forget his first name, Bill Skarsgård, is it? He's in full Pennywise costume, so I think the general public sometimes are not connected or in that world like us. We're not in that world by any means. Wish I was. They sometimes look at these characters and think, oh, method acting, they're right into it, putting their heart and soul, they can't differentiate between this and the character they're playing themselves. But you see it, these guys are just doing their job. They're invested, and then once they take ends, that's it, they're back to themselves and they're laughing and joking.
And I'm sure Robert Pattinson will, you know, if he is, you know, confirmed to play this role, he will go into it 100% as well, because he's a very dedicated actor. Yes. Regardless, I wasn't a fan of the Twilight saga either, but you can see a good actor, you know, in his performances. But listen, we'll move on to the next topic, John, which is related to what we were just talking about. This is coming from the playlist.net, and it's in regards to who Robert Pattinson could potentially be facing in the film The Batman.
The Batman returns.
Yep, it's the Penguin and Catwoman rumoured to face the Cape Crusader.
Intriguing.
It is, because a little interesting piece of information in this article that you know, the Penguin in particular has not been seen in live action big screen form since Danny DeVito played him in Tim Burton's Batman Returns from 1992, I think it was.
Yes, it was a long time ago, Stephen,
We got a form of Catwoman in The Dark Knight Rises, although she wasn't called Catwoman. Selina Kyle. She was called the cat, you know, those newspaper clippings you saw, you know, from some of the jobs that she pulled. But she clearly was Catwoman. Halle Berry played some version as well, but it's interesting, and I never really thought about it. It's been such a long time since we saw the Penguin character on the big screen. We love him in Gotham.
Yeah, I'm actually just looking at a photo, Stephen. I had to search his name up, Robin Lord Taylor. Yeah, this guy's sadly not going to be involved in the movie, because I think they've made it clear these different standalone series, they're not connected with also what they're doing in the cinematic universe. If it's still a cinematic universe at this stage, it might not be. I hope I'm wrong. Because if they're getting the Penguin involved, I'd love to see Robin Lord Taylor coming in. I think that guy's the best thing in Gotham, just outstanding. I was actually just watching John Wick 3 the other day, Stephen. He was in it with Halle Berry.
Oh, right, okay.
He had a little cameo. Wasn't expecting it. Showing a completely different side to his acting.
The Penguin and
Catwoman were in a different movie.
John Wick, 3.
Yeah, and they both great. Well, Halle Berry was much better, I have to say, than Robin Lord Taylor. She had a meatier role. But Stephen, I'd love to see this. Yeah. As we were talking there about, obviously, Matt Reeves going down the detective route. Yeah. I can't think of a better antagonist than the bold Penguin himself to go down the detective route. This is a guy that frequents in the shadows, goes underneath the city and whatnot, and just a nefarious, slimy little figure of a guy. You need to utilise all your detective skills to find him. Catwoman obviously hangs around the shadows as well, very hard to track and pick up. I'd just be intrigued to see who they'd get on board to actually play them, Stephen, if indeed it is the case. If it's not Robin Lord Taylor, who would they get on board to play the Penguin? It's a very hard role. He's done a completely different take, Taylor, to Danny DeVito's. Danny DeVito was like a proper sort of a comic book version, the big nose, the high forehead, deformed, very, very small. Taylor, more prim and proper, suited and booted.
And the TV series allowed the character to develop from the early stages to what he became in the final season, John.
Starts off as a figure of fun.
And that's down to the actor, you know, and obviously the writing as well from the writers on that TV series. But yeah, you're right, John.
Who would you like to see playing Catwoman, incidentally? That's very hard.
I've not even gave it that much thought. I'm just happy to see that we're starting to get, you know, this news coming through. First, obviously, Robert Pattinson being connected to the Bruce Wayne Batman role, but now we're getting to, you know, see little droplets online now in who he's going to face, and I can't think any better two out with obviously the Joker, but it does kind of leave things up in the air with all these other you know, villains like the Joker. Is it going to be Jared Leto's Joker that's going to eventually, you know, have you know, some time in another film with Robert Pattinson's Batman, or are we going to get Joaquin Phoenix's? You know, it's for casual fans. I think it's going to become a little bit confusing. For ourselves, I would like to see. I'd like to see these two, you know, villains come into, you know, this movie right away. And we'll worry about the other villains later on, like the Riddler, etc. Bane, Poison Ivy, the rest of them. But
Mr. Freeze.
I was going to say that, John, and I just changed my mind. I don't ever want to see another film version of that. Nobody's going to top Arnie's
I just seen Arnie getting drop kicked by some idiot in South America. Yeah, wouldn't have happened back in the 90s. No chance. 71-year-old guy, tough guy, isn't he? Drop kicking them from behind, little bitch. But look, Stephen, I'm looking through a list of potential actresses they're saying could play Catwoman. Morena Baccarin.
She's in Gotham, is she not?
Yeah, I think she is, you've got Ana de Armas, rings a bell, the name. I think she starred in Blade Runner. She's a great actress, that'd be a great shout. Betty Gilpin, she's been in Glow. I don't actually know much about her, can't lie. Certainly get the looks though. Alicia Dushku, I wouldn't want to see her. Sorry, I just wouldn't. And then they're finally saying Kristen Stewart, who starred alongside Pattinson in Twilight.
That would be interesting.
Yeah.
She would actually be a good fit for the role. It would really be such a far cry for both of those actors.
Coming together on a totally different thing,
exactly. You know, but she's certainly got the range for it. Yeah. But no, I think it's something, you know, if once it is confirmed, if that is true that these are going to be the villains in the film, the Batman, then it will be something that will really be setting the rumour mill alight, because it's just been very interesting to see over the last few months. We've been talking about it in our audio shows. This is how far back this goes, the Matt Reeves Batman film, and who is going to be cast in it. So, and
ultimately, Stephen, as you did say, I'm just pleased to see we're getting more and more news about this movie coming out. It's been a long time in the making.
Yeah, it certainly has, John.
When was the last time we had a proper Batman movie? Was it The Dark Knight Rises?
Yeah.
Well, proper standalone Batman movie, not obviously Batman, Superman. What was it? I raised that out of my mind, that movie.
Well, I see what you're saying, John, but...
So it's a long time coming.
Dawn of Justice, is that what it's called?
Dawn of Justice,
They did do a lot of the origins sort of flashback stuff for Bruce Wayne in that movie, but I think it was a 50-50 split between those two characters and what we were getting. But as far as obviously just a standalone Batman film, The Dark Knight Rises, which we went to see in IMAX Theatre back in 2012.
Way too long of a gap. I have to get this Batman movie out in soon. And Stephen, in this article, the final thing I'll add, they're getting all discombobulated. They're saying it's a 2020 July release, and then they're saying that the production could start late 2019 or early 2020. That would have to be the quickest and shortest production ever to get that movie filmed, put together in post, and then released for July 2020. I don't know what they're talking about.
Matt Reeves is good, but he's not that good.
He's not that good, Stephen. But you know what else isn't that great, Stephen? The next topic.
Yeah.
Not for both of us. Dark Phoenix.
Yeah, Dark Phoenix.
A great box office opening.
This comes in from Screen Rant, John. Listen, I'm so sad to see this because I was such a fan of the franchise, but because it's going to be the last one as well for this, this collection of actors, and obviously the studio as well. Before Disney get their hands on these characters, but Dark Phoenix may have the all-time worst X-Men box office opening ever. The article kind of breaks down. One thing I didn't know this about when you think back to all the X-Men films over the last 20 years, the one that has the lowest box office, it says is the Wolverine from 2013, which I actually enjoyed. I thought it was a good version. But I think the reason I think it was a good film is because I'm comparing it to the Origins Wolverine film, which was an absolute abomination of a film. Yeah, and I thought he was. I don't know what it was. It was just everything was wrong about that film. The writing, the acting, the CG.
Did it end on a giant chimney?
Yeah, Ryan Reynolds, Deadpool. Yeah.
And he shot that Deadpool on the head at the end of Deadpool 2, so that tells you what Ryan thinks of it. It's just a pity he didn't do it at the time. Yeah, that would have been
at the start of the film.
Time travel.
But listen, this film Dark Phoenix, we've seen the trailers. We did a few reactions, I'm sure. I actually liked the trailers. I've got to be honest with you, but you can never tell. The best bits are always going to be in your trailers. But it's sad because I think when you've got someone like what's her face, Sophie Turner, a terrific actor, playing the sort of lead in this. One of the things I think a lot of people took from the trailers, John, was a bit of a spoiler in regards to the Jennifer Lawrence character.
Yeah, she died. You've not seen the trailer then. Sorry.
You just don't do that, don't you? You don't do
she
that
wants to finish with the character, Stephen. It's pretty clear she's done with Mystique.
But
doesn't want it.
But these films are finished anyway.
I know. Yeah, that was sad in a way. Well, not that sad because, as I did say, she's been phoning it in.
Going back to 2010 though, John, when First Class came out, this new area of younger versions of our beloved characters, John. How did you feel about First Class when it first came out?
My all-time favourite X-Men movie,
really?
Stephen. Yeah, out with obviously Logan. That is still my favourite of the younger
Days of Future Past, better than that.
Yeah, I think First Class. That was the one with Kevin Bacon, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Wunderbar. Yeah, that's still my favourite. I don't know why, but it just is.
That's a good film.
I loved that sequence where he's. I think he's like. Was that at the end? Was it actually Kevin Bacon's character on the beach to go in?
Yeah.
And it kind of a slice. He's like, he does. I can't. It's been a while since I've seen it, but it's like slow motion. I think it's Magneto doing something to him, and it was just epic. Yeah. Just incredible. I think there's so much going on in that, and it's happy memories for me. That's my all-time favourite, Stephen.
Yeah.
Days of Future Past was outstanding as well. That was the one with
that's my favourite.
Trask.
Yeah.
Is that your man Dinklage?
Peter Dinklage. Yeah.
Yeah, that was a great one as well. Going back to the 70s. Also, you get that great cameo from Wolverine. So that was fantastic as well. What was the one with the horrendous ending? I can't recall. How many have we had?
We had Apocalypse after that.
Last Stand was the one with the horrendous ending.
Yeah, I didn't like that. Yeah.
Just getting them out of my mind.
Yeah.
Apocalypse, I'm going to admit, Stephen, I've still not seen Apocalypse. I've not got to see it.
I liked it.
I'm going to rush and see this.
Yeah.
Prior to Dark Phoenix, because I will be seeing
I've
Dark
got
Phoenix.
Blu-ray, John. I'll give you it, so you can have a watch before we go and see this.
Because I definitely will be seeing Dark
Apocalypse performed well at the box office. I think it was over 500 million it grossed.
I think it was because of the end credit scenes in Days of Future Past. You've got the four horsemen of the Apocalypse.
That's right, yeah.
So that was set up beautifully. And then obviously Oscar Isaac was in there as the antagonist. I need to see it. I have to see it.
That end scene... it's not what you think it is.
Is it? No, is that the end scene?
It doesn't really set it up at all. But it's very sad to see because I thought this collection of characters, or actors I should say, for these characters did very well considering who they were taking the mantle from.
Yeah,
like Patrick Stewart, etc.
I think this is down to a lack of promotion. Just bad promotion. They've been.
Let's get it out of the way.
Yeah, there's been something wrong with the promotion. They feel like there's something off. There's been bad word of mouth about this movie being an embarrassment. They've been showing it to screeners.
I just think, John,
the critics have not liked it.
But I think it's just, as you say, they're not putting as much effort into it.
Yeah, because it's the end.
Because it's the end. And that's my concern for the New Mutants as well, because that film, we've been talking about that film since we started doing podcasts.
You had it in your most anticipated for last year, Stephen, I think. Still not here. And it's still getting delayed.
So it is most anticipated, so
I'm
kind of right in a way, am I not?
Yeah.
It's not been made yet.
Macy Williams into an X-Men movie now.
Yeah.
Get her in now.
But listen, John, we'll move on because time is pressing.
Yes.
And this comes in from Cinema Blend for our next article.
I think we're struggling badly here.
Yeah, it's yes, the Hulk's snap in Avengers Endgame had a smart bonus. Now, we talked about this before we came on air, John, because I've got to be honest with you, maybe not the first time we went to see Endgame because there was so much to take in. Yeah. The second time I did think about it for the Hulk snap and obviously Tony Stark's. Tony Stark's snap was probably a little simpler. Not for him, obviously, it cost him his life, but
you had to think as well, though.
Basically, how does it work? How does it work? You know, how do you work it out in your head?
You have to what? You have to think long and hard. Yeah. Is it like that great X-Files episode where the guy wishes for a new wheelchair?
Yep.
Instead of actually saying that he wants new legs or something.
Mulder
like
wanted peace on Earth and it was only man left in the world.
It was only him. It's like the Aladdin and Genie. The Genie and Aladdin, I should say. I'm getting those two.
Yeah, it's very literal.
You have to be very careful about what you're wanting, because he even says that, the Genie to him in the trailer. You sure you want a prince? Or you want to be a prince or something like that? So you have to be very
make me a prince.
Make me a prince, so you don't want a prince made for you. Yeah. So it's like that. When you think about it, you just see them snap their fingers and you're like, oh, that's it, it's done. You don't put much thought into the actual process. What I like about this, though, Stephen, is the Smart Hulk.
I was going to say, it's Bruce Banner's brain we're talking about here.
The utilisation of a Smart Hulk. I wasn't a big fan of a Smart Hulk. But now when I look back in hindsight, they knew what they were doing. They knew what they were doing, because you needed
time travel.
Time travel, yeah. You needed the gamma and the strength of being able to withhold the gauntlet and snap it and survive. But they had to utilise his cerebral side as well. So he knew not to do it wrong, because as they do say in the article, if you snap and bring all these 50% back, and there could be people up on planes 30,000 feet in the air.
Never thought
of that. Snap to materialise back into being, and then they fall to their death. So you have to have that cerebral knowing of make the snap, bring them back, but bring them back safely. Yeah,
performing the snap as well, John, was another thing that I didn't take into consideration. A lot of mumps and moans online in regards to the Russo's treatment of the Hulk character. But when you think about it, he did the most important thing in the film. Out with, obviously, Tony Stark's decision on what he had to do. He brought everyone back. The Hulk actually brought everyone back into existence. So
I didn't miss that during the first
I did.
my first
I've got to be honest, I didn't really give it that much thought.
I appreciated them giving him that job, but I'm still angry that he didn't have his moment with Thanos, because Thanos made him look like a little bitch at the start of Infinity War, beat him into submission, and he never had his chance to obviously match him. And you made a great suggestion, Stephen, the gamma. You were hoping the gamma would overload him and send him into full crazed Hulk.
That would have been epic.
And then he goes and beats the shit out of Thanos.
But the film was epic enough, but that would have took it to another level, if there is another level. But listen, it is what it is. I'm not saying what they did was wrong and I didn't like it. I was very satisfied with what they did do, so it's just one of those things, those little sort of... But like, in The Force Awakens, when the lightsaber shoots through snow, I really wanted that to be Luke's hand that grabbed. Yeah, it should have been Luke.
But then people would have said, why did Luke not come and save his best friend in the whole wide world hand just 5 minutes earlier?
But listen,
please everybody.
That was just a little short article, John, and that's another little short article just to finish up this show. It's Kevin Feige says the real Mandarin will feature in the MCU. This comes in from Empire Online. Obviously, we did get a version of the, or was it a version, or was it just?
Well, there was two, Stephen. There was two versions. You had your man Ben Kingsley masquerading as the Mandarin, but then it was revealed it was another guy. I can't recall who played him. So there was two Mandarins in that, but also there was much controversy over the racial undertones in that character. He wasn't obviously Asian, first and foremost, which I do believe the original character in the comic books was. So there was a lot of backlash. I do believe the Marvel, I don't know if it was Kevin Feige or not, released unused footage onto YouTube, or scene or something like that, to appease fans, and then they apologised, and they've not done it again. So he's been asked, can this character come back and perhaps be utilised again better in the MCU, and he said that yes, that there's still unfinished business, that he can come back. A real Mandarin could return, perhaps in the form of, I believe it's Shang-Chi, who's apparently a character who pops up. Don't don't think he's actually connected to the Mandarin, although I don't know much about it, Stephen, in all honesty, but he's often referred to as the master of Kung Fu. So that's intriguing. Yeah. How could he come in though? This is my one issue, because obviously he's a supervillain for Iron Man in the comic run. Iron Man is now dead, and that opens up the interesting possibility of perhaps Iron Lad or his young daughter becoming Iron Man, or Iron Woman, or Lady. The lady with the iron heart, Margaret Thatcher. There's a whole host of possibilities, Stephen. Could we see Tony Stark's daughter grow into the figure of Iron Man, Iron Woman? Could we have Iron Lad? Is that why they showed us the young boy at his funeral? But most importantly, Stephen, it could perhaps be done in a way which better interconnects Iron Man 3 into the MCU, because right now it's one of the few ones that's not connected out with the first Hulk movie. So I'm up for it.
Yeah, it's good to see Kevin Feige as well taking to Reddit to answer some questions as well.
Yes,
just like the Russos did as well this week. But listen, that just brings us to the end of this week's MBE Heroes. We'd just like to thank you once again for joining us, and we'll be back again tomorrow with movie news.